Hello, boys and girls. Today we are back with another review by me, Lawful Evo. We're kicking it today with some Killing Floor 2. Brief history, those of you who don't know. It started out life as an Unreal Tournament mod, and later got a full-fledged solo release by itself on the PC only, so you console kids have not gotten to enjoy this gloriousness. But now we have moved into Killing Floor 2, which is in early access currently on Steam. There will be a later console port. We will talk about that later. But this game is true co-op survival horror. Six of you, well, up to six, surviving waves of quite deadly and quite intelligent creatures referred to as Zeds. It will test your patience at times. You are not going to run around like Call of Duty running and gunning. That will get you wrecked. You will be wrecked, wrecked, wrecked. But yes, moving along, we shall talk about the assorted features. Uh, when you're playing, certain kills will trigger what they call Z time, which adds some beautiful slow-mo that then teammates getting headshot kills, etc., will add to the gloriousness and just keep triggering time after time. This one, Killing Floor 2, we did get a pretty decent upgrade. There's a bunch of different characters to select from, like the first, but we have actual character customization. As you can see on screen, I'm tweaking out my Mr. Foster, choosing what sexy tie to put on this glorious gas masked man. And now we have the actual perk system, the bread and butter of this game, as it were. In this one so far, there are 7 classes. I think there were 4 or 5 in the original, but each has a level up experience system, different ways to level up based on your class, doing things for your class, that then give you perks and bonuses, starting weapons, etc. for your class. So it is class-based co-op. Alright, now that we're in game, the weapons, there is a massive variety, and while you can use anything, there are definitely ones strictly based for your class. Like here I'm using one of the medic SMGs that can actually let me fire syringes to heal teammates at a distance, which is great. But there are multiple reload animations per weapon, which was a nice little extra touch that they didn't really need to add, but you notice it from time to time and you're like, whoa, that was flippin' cool. And it's just those extra touches. Tripwire threw a lot of love into this game, you can tell. The motion capture, they actually had the budget for this time, and it was actually done at Sony Computer Entertainment in San Diego. All the creature and weapon animations were all captured in both first and third person from multiple angles to really, you know, sync the recoil, make the recoil feel real, make the monsters move more realistic. It, it's again a minor touch, but one of those things that when you have all these minor touches and a great base game, it adds up really quickly into a really solid experience. They completed what they like to call the meat system for this game, which stands for massive evisceration and trauma, and it actually creates dynamic gore. Let me repeat that. Dynamic gore. Bloodstains are a permanent fixture on the terrain. They're not just a texture thrown on there that will dissipate. They had created a whole computer system that renders literal lifelike bloodstains, splats them at random in a spray pattern from where the impact was, and they literally stay there the entire match. By the time you're done in a small area, it can be absolutely covered. In the original Killing Floor, because there is melee combat, etc., every Zed had 5 points of dismemberment. They upped that in this one to 22. 22 possible points. So grab a katana, get out there, and make you some Zed chunks. With the dynamic, gore, etc., they also tweaked some of the monsters' attacks and involved dynamic stuff there too. The Siren you will see her as a skinny, twitching lady wandering around. I don't remember if she's in this footage. Uses essentially a sonic scream that kind of distorts your vision and does damage within a radius. Well, in this game, they rebuilt her to do dynamic sound damage. If you're in a small enclosed place with her, bend over, bite the pillow, you're getting fucking wrecked. Which is just glorious, because that's how it should be. Realistically, if some monster can damage you via sound waves, and you're in a small echoey tunnel with them, yeah, you're gonna fucking die. There's no escaping that. Not possible. The game did also, I know I keep preaching dynamic, 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 but upped the engine with dynamic lights and objects. The lighting is all dynamic. Tons of objects are destructible, knockaroundable, shatterable, also dynamic. Dynamic, dynamic, dynamic. I see a pattern here. But overall, just an absolute blast of an experience. They did one kind of questionable thing, I'm not gonna lie. Uh, they added microtransactions recently, purely for cosmetic items in the character customization, but still, it feels like a little bit of the devil has creeped into heaven. Because the last Killing Floor survived with, yes, a literal fuck ton of DLC that you didn't necessarily need. It was all skins and stuff. So if you didn't have it, it wasn't a big deal. But moving to the straight microtransaction model, I almost wish they would have stuck with just packs of DLC like they did before. It feels dirty to me. I'm not going to lie. It's dirty, it's evil, and I don't know how I feel about it. Well, I mean, I do know, but ugh, that's enough about that. Now, in the original Killing Floor, there was only one boss. You always fought the Patriarch at the end of the 10 rounds, 7 rounds, whatever you had it set to. In this one, there are two options, with more coming, but we've got Dr. Hans Volter, and they just re-added a new and improved, beefier Patriarch. That both bosses require different strategies, different team compositions, so it's not just kind of tacked on. You kind of gotta plan and tweak. As you can see, I'm changing my controls to be easier for the incoming fight. But altogether, having different choices rather than, here comes the Patriarch again, feels great. It's fantastic, actually. Hans here has tons of personality, plays completely different than the Patriarch, and is not just a reskin or a total complete cop-out. Now, I did mention earlier that the motion capture was all recorded at Sony. That is because this will be hitting PS4. Once it's finished its early access and has a full, complete PC release, Sony players rejoice, you will be able to play. There's no word on cross-platform yet, but we're kind of all hoping at this point that it will go that route. Alas, we have come to the end of our time together. I am Lawful Evo. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Did you agree with this? Did you not? Do you just want to write dicks, 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 dicks? Go for it. I take the time as I have time to read it all and will gladly reply. You may get some snark, you may get some sarcasm, you may get just a thumbs up, but rest assured, I am there. This was Killing Floor. I am Lawful Evo. Y'all have a great night.